This is WKYT This Morning.
And everyone should show up for that game tonight at 7. Good morning there. I'm Michelle Chamberlain.
And I'm Bill Bryant. It's so good to have you on WKYT, where Kentucky mornings start. And we're starting out this morning a little bit cooler. You know, those storms have moved on through, such as they were. It wasn't a big situation out there with storms, but we had some wind and so forth yesterday.
Yeah, I'm hoping we don't have any situations this Sunday for Easter. How's it looking, Micah?
Yeah, it's a little bit iffy, and I'm going to talk about that in my full forecast, where we start to see some rain move on Sunday as opposed to Saturday. So we'll get your plans going here in just a few minutes, but Defender Radar Network, all the rain is long gone, maybe a few sprinkles southeastern areas. Temperatures in the 40s, and look, that cooler air is moving on in. Look where your temperatures go later on this afternoon. They don't go too much higher. We're at 48 degrees, much cooler day in store, but obviously the focus of the forecast is that Easter weekend. I'm going to take you hour by hour, and I'm going to show you if we're expecting rain or not coming up.
Hey, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
Witnesses say the crime is as low as it gets. A veteran volunteering to raise money for other veterans ended up being robbed outside a Lexington store.
Police say that Rodney Brock was collecting money for Veterans Outreach just outside the New Circle Road Walmart yesterday when a man pulled up and stole the donations. Brock tried to fight the man off but was unsuccessful. WKYT's Mark Barber is joining us live now with the details on that. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. Yeah, that's exactly right. The veteran says that he tried to keep the robber from stealing the donation jar, but when he tried to stop him, the man dragged him and then held a gun to his head. The veteran's daughter watched in horror as her father was robbed here, and she says it just does not get any worse than what happened here yesterday afternoon. The veteran was trying to raise money for a program called Veterans Outreach. It's a program that helps other veterans. That's when a robber pulled the truck up to the curb and decided he would help himself to the donation jar. The donation bucket was bolted to the table, so the gunman dragged the table and the veteran along with it, trying to pry the jar free. When the veteran would not let go, the man pulled a gun on him. Once the veteran backed off, the robber threw the table into his red extended pickup truck and drove off. The veteran was hurt and he was taken to UK hospital. He has been there through the night, but he is expected to recover. This morning, police tell me they do not have any information about the person who is responsible for the bold robbery. As far as the only limited description of the robber goes, the veteran's daughter says that he is a white man in his mid-30s possibly, who stands about 5 feet 10 inches tall. That's the latest here in Lexington. I'm Mark Barber, WKYT.
This morning, the manhunt continues for two men thought to be connected to the deadly bombings in Belgium this weekend. Family members of missing Americans are still waiting for word on their loved ones. We're also getting an inside look at the devastating scene from inside the airport right after the bombs went off. Now, we should warn you, the video could be disturbing to some viewers. Don Champion reports.
New video shows the chaos that followed Tuesday's bombings at Brussels Airport. Here, a baby is seen crying next to a family member. The taxi driver who filmed the video said he was told not to move the child because it would be easier to identify the baby if she was found near family members. Later today, Secretary of State John Kerry will travel to Brussels to meet with Belgium and European officials about the investigation.
The appalling terrorist attacks that took place in Brussels. They are a stark reminder. They are a violent reminder.
Thursday night, 6 people were detained in raids linked to the bombings around Brussels. CBS News has learned 2 brothers suspected in the attacks were on the U.S. terrorism watch list.
They've had at least a couple of years, the Islamic State, to move personnel back and forth from Europe to Syria and Iraq for training. I'm concerned that we may have gone past a certain level of threat, and now we're in sort of this mass where it's extremely complicated for us to identify and prevent every single attack.
As the probe into the bombings widens, officials say it could take weeks to identify victims. Late last night, in a statement, family members confirmed New York siblings Alex and Sasha Penzowski were not on the list of recovering victims. The family of Americans Justin and Stephanie Schultz are still waiting for word on them. Don Champion, CBS News.
Belgian authorities have lowered the country's terror threat level, but still say another attack is likely and possible.
As you've just heard, a Lexington native and her husband remain missing this morning following Tuesday's attacks. Stephanie and Justin Schultz were at the Brussels airport when bombs rocked the terminal Tuesday morning. Stephanie's parents, along with Justin's mother, have gone to Belgium since that to look for the couple. In a statement, Congressman Andy Barr is asking for continued prayers for the Schultz family and says he has been in constant communication with them. He also says he is working with the State Department and the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
A day full of rain provided much-needed help for firefighters battling more than 30 wildfires in eastern and southern Kentucky. Officer Don flew over one of those fires in Whitley County yesterday. The fire near Harps Creek Road is now at least 200 acres in size. Firefighters say although the rain helped, portions of the fire actually grew because of the strong winds. They say they're currently keeping a close eye on at least 16 homes close to that fire.
It started on top of the mountain on two separate ridges apart, probably a mile apart. There's two sets. It had been lit on this fire, and it made it a very large fire.
Firefighters plan to launch an arson investigation because of how that fire started.
WKYT This Morning is just getting started, and it's good to have you along with us.
Yeah, an angry customer shocked employees at a California sushi restaurant after leaving an enormous snake behind. That story when we return.
We're in the 40s for today. It really doesn't change from what you're seeing there on the screen all that much. But then we hit the weekend back in the 60s. And yes, there's a little bit of rain to talk about. And I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
The rain is long gone. It's on out of here. We won't see that for the next 48 hours. But as we head off into Sunday, it's a little bit of a different story. Let's break down the forecast. Defender Radar Network, nothing going on this morning except some cooler air filtering on in. And not just that, but you'll have the cloud cover overhead all day long with those winds coming in from the north and northwest. I spoke about this yesterday. During this time of year, for the most part, when you start to get winds out of the west and northwest, that's when you start to see much cooler conditions funnel on in here. Now, that's not every part of the year, but for this time of year, absolutely. 39 degrees down Fort Knox showing up. Go off toward E-Town, Bardstown. Those are areas that will be there in the upper 30s when it's all said and done. And you know what? Lexington may. It's one of those things, it's going to be a close call. Will we be in the upper 30s? Will we be in the lower 40s? Nonetheless, it's going to be much cooler. And that's going to be the case all day long. It really doesn't rise that much more from where we are right now. We'll be right around 48 degrees later on this afternoon. We may get a few peaks of sunshine later on today, but for the most part, it's going to be a mostly cloudy day. And with those winds, only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Nothing like what we felt yesterday. Going off into the evening, if you have any plans, going downtown, heading off to Memorial Coliseum for the UK ladies playing. And look, you got to get down there. You got to support them. So it should be a really good night to get down there in terms of nothing falling out of the sky. But it's still going to be cool as you walk in there. So, yeah, you might want to take a coat along with you. You'll probably want a coat all day long. It's a much cooler Friday in store. But the milder air, it swings back in here for your weekend. Saturday looks fantastic. Really nice temperatures, mid-60s. And look, we get into Sunday, that's when we could have a few issues there on Sunday. So it's a mostly dry Easter weekend, but it's not fully dry. So let's talk about your weekend plans. Saturday at 64, Sunday at 68. Really nice feeling day. If you're trying to plan some things to do outdoors, do it on Saturday. If you can't do it on Saturday and you still want to do it on Sunday, do it as early in the day, probably around noontime to about 4 p.m. That's probably your best bet. To maybe get outside and do some Easter egg hunts. Because after that, when you get closer to sunset, that's when the rain starts to move on in. So during the daylight hours, I give it about a 30% chance of rain. During the nighttime hours, it's more like a 50-60% chance of rain. And during the night is when you'll have the better opportunity to see that rain slide on through. And once that happens, it drops the temperatures back down for a day, and then it picks right back up there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. With temperatures, they're in the 60s and 70s all in all, guys. The next 3 days do not look all that bad. Remember, if you're trying to make plans, make them early on in the day on Sunday, as it does look like once you get late into the afternoon, and especially into the evening, that's when some rain kind of slides on in here. It's not a complete washout. It's a little spotty action here and there. It's not a huge, massive rain. But it is something to watch out for as we slide towards your Easter weekend.
All right.
There's always a lot going on for Easter.
Yeah, a lot of
Beautiful
folks
spring weather.
Oh, yeah.
And
Very
some
nice.
people are traveling, so it all works out. Thank you, Micah. Coming up on 5:15.
Customers at a Los Angeles sushi restaurant came for raw fish, but ended up encountering a live snake.
Yeah, police say a customer paid his $200 dinner bill Sunday and then started showing off a small snake to customers in the restaurant.
At least he paid his bill.
Yeah, the customer then became angry when the restaurant managers asked him to leave. He did, but he returned a short time later with a much bigger snake. And to show his dissatisfaction, police say the man dropped a 13-foot python right in the middle of the restaurant and walked out. Understandably, both the patrons and the staff freaked out about it.
Get this thing out, you know, everyone's like eating, so customers like yelling, get this thing out, are you crazy? We asked him like 3 or 4 times. He said no, like he was like starting a fight with the customers, so we have to have called the police and fire department.
Animal control officers came and they took the snakes away. Police say the man was eventually arrested. It turns out he is an exotic animals collector and is in that business and so forth, but so that's the reason he had them in the first place. But you know, that's no way to
Nice guy.
no way to do.
I mean, what if you're in the restaurant and he threw a snake on the floor near you? Would you run?
Well, of course. No doubt about that.
You're supposed to say no. I would sit there and pick it up and take it outside.
Nope, not me.
Not for you, huh?
Nope, 5:16 the time. Friday morning on WKYT, rolling toward the weekend. Good to have you with us.
Yeah, when we return, we'll have a look at your money.
Gerber is recalling its organic baby food, plus the Toyota Corolla turns 50. What the car maker is doing to celebrate. I'm Hannah Daniels in New York. I'll have those stories and much more coming up in your CBS Money Watch report.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It's almost 5:20 on your Friday, and it's good to have you along with us today as we roll toward the weekend, Easter weekend. A big-name baby food manufacturer has issued a recall. Traveling by air is at an all-time high now among U.S. citizens.
Yeah, and one of the most common cars you'll find on the roadway is celebrating a birthday. Hannah Daniels has the latest on your money.
Stock markets are closed this Good Friday holiday. On Thursday, the Dow Jones closed up 13 points. The Nasdaq gained 4. Gerber Products Company is voluntarily recalling organic pouch products after a packaging defect, resulting in the pouches spoiling during transport and handling. The recall products include Gerber Organic Second Foods pouches, pears, carrots, and peas, and carrots, apples, and mangoes. Both products were sold in 3.5-ounce pouches at stores nationwide, with Best Buy dates in July of 2016. Air travel in the United States is at an all-time high, according to the Department of Transportation. Airlines carried almost 900 million passengers, both domestically and internationally last year. That's 5% higher than the previous year. American Airlines carried the most passengers, and Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International was the busiest airport. The Toyota Corolla is turning 50 years old, and to celebrate, the car maker unveiled a new redesigned special edition model with new safety features, including automatic emergency braking. 43 million Corollas have been sold since 1966. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Hannah Daniels.
Microsoft's public experiment with artificial intelligence apparently needs a major tune-up. The tech company designed a chatbot to talk on social media like a teenager, and it activated it on Twitter on Wednesday. After less than a day, though, the chatbot named Tay started spewing out racist and hateful comments. Microsoft shut Tay down about midnight and deleted most of the offensive tweets, but they have not released a comment on the matter at this point. So that went awry. Sounds like.
Did not go well for them, did it?
You got it. 5:22 Friday morning on WKYT. Good to have you up and at it with us with that weekend on the way for us.
We can't wait, right? Sports is next.
Tonight, the UK ladies are in action against the University of Washington in the round of 16 in Rupp Arena. A win, and they're in the region final. And also tonight, UK baseball meets the #1 team in America. Previews on the way.
We have the 40s outside this morning, and by the afternoon, it's pretty much going to stay that way. It's a cool start to the day, and it will be a cool finish. Upper 40s to around 50 degrees, especially if we do not see sunshine. If we don't see sunshine, which there is that possibility, we're going to stay in the 40s for everybody. So it's a cool afternoon. Then we look toward the weekend. It's much better. I'll show you that in your extended day forecast. Coming up, let's check out sports, see what's going on.
The UK women open play tonight in the round of 16 against the Washington Huskies in Rupp Arena. Christy Thomas has a preview.
The Cats are in their 5th Sweet 16 in the last 7 years, and for the very first time, their road to the Final Four stays right here in Lexington in Rupp Arena. You would think that that would be a huge advantage for Kentucky, but Matthew Mitchell says just being in Rupp Arena won't get it done.
You know, the home court didn't do much for us last year versus Dayton. So a court doesn't really do it for you. Didn't do much for Arizona State, didn't do much for Maryland. You know, I mean, you have to play. Would it be exciting for us if we get rolling and playing well? Could we have some added juice in the building because it's us? Of course.
It's only the second time these two teams have ever met, with Washington winning their first and only meeting back in 2002. It's an Elite Eight on the line tonight in Rupp Arena at 7 o'clock. In Lexington, Christy Thomas, WKYT.
Thank you, Christy. It's also a big baseball weekend for Kentucky. The Cats hosting #1 ranked Florida in a series that begins tonight. Kentucky has been playing well this year, 15-5 record, and over the past decade, the Cats have had the Gators' number, and they've dominated the series.
We've won the last 3 series, yeah, and you don't take anything for granted, but certainly you can draw upon that success. Yeah, we 7 out of 10 won the last 3 series, and I'm sure they're well aware of that as well. That's how it goes in our league. You know, that from week to week, you have those stories within the story or game within the game. You know, so yeah, they're aware. We're all aware of it.
First pitch at 6:30 from Cliff Hagan Stadium. That's a look at sports. Have a great day.